And hello, world. My name is Himyo, aka altruism, and welcome to the human experience. The human experience, just to give you a little background and context as to what you will be experiencing as humans express and people experience compassionate actions. So, the human experience is a compassionate action experience where I, altruism, will be asking individuals 7 questions so that they can express themselves to the world. Now, to give you a little background on what the human experience is and how it came into fruition, I will tell you a story. So, before I came into this world, I had a complication at birth. That complication at birth had my umbilical cord was wrapped around my neck, and through the birthing process, I had to get uh, cut out of my mother's womb. And that experience left me in a place and space that took on a lot of debilitating acts as I grew up because I hurt my mother, so I thought. And so when I was going through that, and I remember as I was growing up that my mom would say, whenever I would act difficult, she'd be like, you know what? You are, because of you, I got cut, I got hurt, and you give me all these problems, and you're my problem child. Now, I took that as a sign that there was something wrong with me, and that even in the inception of my life, I hurt the source of my life, or one of the sources of my life, which was my mother. And how this left me feeling was there was a bunch of feelings of guilt attached to it. There were feelings of like I'm not good enough because how can I come into the world hurting the individual that gave me life? Now, that allowed me to experience life as I was younger from a very different paradigm, because I because of this immense feeling of guilt, I never felt that I would amount to anything in the world. That's how I felt on the inside. That was my experience in the world. And so as I would interact and relate with people, the background noise that was carried on within my life is you're not good enough. You don't deserve to have great things happen in your life, um, and um, and so why try to do anything because you're unworthy. Now that was what I was telling myself, right? And how that showed up in the world wasn't necessarily true because on the flip side of that, I would be interacting with people and I would hear the opposite of that, like, "Oh, you're such a great person. Oh, thank you for helping out," or all these positive superlatives that one would use to make themselves feel better about themselves. Well, that wasn't the case for me, and so as I grew into the world, I had another feeling of what is my purpose? What do I want to be here for? Why was I even born? You know, and we'll get into that a little later. So the human experience is going to be a compassionate action event where I will be interviewing people that I have experienced throughout my life and asking them 7 questions about who they are and what they show up in the world as. This has been a methodically thought out plan based upon a speaking platform that I have created called Faith is simply be life. The path towards be living in you. And what that is, and what faith is simply be life is a particular methodology to help one develop a high self esteem, or yes, high self esteem, or just esteem in general. Because I come from the thought structure of that everyone was born with a very specific purpose, and that we were born inherently within us everything that we need to show up and be and contribute to the world, we were already born with. And so within that, there's a couple of things that happen in life no matter what is going on. First, life is cause and effect. I believe that wholeheartedly. Every cause that we make in this world, and how our cause is made, through our thoughts, through our words, and through our actions. These are ways that causes are made that show up as ripple effects, as not even ripple effects, that show up as effects in the world. So, what makes us great? What makes us great as human beings is the fact that we were able to think, we are able to speak, and we are able to take actions. So at the end of the day, we are able to manifest our thoughts. We are able to go from thought to word to action and present to the world something phenomenal. And so that's what makes us great. That's what makes this human experience worth living and worth having and worth contributing to the world as. So that is why we are bringing you this experience, to allow the everyday person to know that you are important and that you have something to offer the world that no one else can. And we would like to give you the opportunity to express so that other humans can experience the phenom that is you. That's what this is all about. And so, as we go on this experience, it will be one of highs and not that kind of high. And there will be lows. And through that all, maybe there is a gem, there's a jewel, there's a nugget that you can receive to help you move on and do and show up in the world as you are intended to show up. The human experience isn't about me, it is about we. And the thing that connects me to we is that E, which stands for everyone. The human experience is an interactive event. So come and interact with us. Now we're going to go on a little break, and we'll be right back in just 1 minute. I am Altruism, and welcome to the human experience. Hello and welcome back to the Human Experience. I am your host, Altruism, and we are here to help humans experience compassionate actions. Yes, that is what we are all about, and that is here what we are going to do. So, the first guest that we're going to have on today is none other than ta-da, me. And the reason that we are going to do it like this is because, you know, um, I got something I want to express to the world. And just like in medicine, if you can't be a doctor and not be willing to try your own medicine. So with this being the beta of the human experience, I thought that it would be best to try the experience out on me and see what comes about from that. Now, I am going to ask myself 7 questions that is going to allow me to experience or express myself, right? Now, that is the adventure that we are on for today. These 7 questions have basically these questions are questions that I usually like to ask everyone so that I can discern what type of individual I am conversing with or dialoguing with at the moment. There is no right or wrong, it just is. It is a way for you to be whoever it is that you would like to be in the moment. And so, pregunta número uno. So, altruism, which do you trust more? Your heart or your brain? So, what do I trust more, my heart or my brain? I would have to say that I trust my heart more. And the reason that I trust my heart more has to do with because you're not dead until your heart stops beating. Meaning that I allow my heart to do the thinking and I let my brain do the feeling. So that means that the actions, the reason that the human experience is coming at you live today is because my heart led me to want to create an environment and construct a platform that will allow people, everyday humans, the opportunity to express themselves. And so, with my heart saying, this is something you should be doing. This is something that you should do for the world. You want to come up, you want to be of service. You want to be a major agent of effectualizing real change in the world. And due to your social work background and you being a socializer, how about you create an experience where it's not about you per se, but it's really about giving people the opportunity. This is compassion in action. That's what my heart led me to do and wanted to show up as in the world. And so, with that being the intention, and I let that work up to the brain. So now that I can asphyxiate my thoughts on how will I allow or help people to express themselves? What tools do I have at my disposal that I can come up with and conjure up with to allow people to express themselves? And so that's how the human experience came to you. I thought with my heart. And then I let my brain do the speaking. And this is the action that you receive. So that's question number one. All right. So question number two, altruism. Is it better to have beauty or be beautiful? Have beauty or be beautiful? I would say that my answer to that would be it is better to be beautiful. Beauty is something that, yes, we all possess. Beauty comes in very various size, shapes, forms. So we all have beauty within us. We have it, but that doesn't mean that we're using it. And so that's why I would say my answer is it's better to be beautiful. Because when you are being something, you are in action. So being beautiful comes about not because of your outside features. It isn't because, you have a nice beard or a pretty engaging smile or an interesting laugh, some nice chocolate skin. Yeah, that's having beauty. But what makes me beautiful is that I am here to be of service to the world. I am here so that I can be with people as they are and create a space for individuals to express themselves. That's what makes me beautiful. That's how I be beautiful. That's how I show up in the world and am able to see a homeless person. Quick story. So yesterday, I was on my way to a meeting and I stopped by Carl's Jr. to get breakfast. Now, I got an egg and cheese biscuit, and as I was driving to my meeting, I had two of them, right? And I was like, damn, I got these $4 in my pocket. I don't know. I already felt like I messed up because I shouldn't have bought the breakfast because I had some other food. But I was like, hey, you know what? It is what it is. This is what I want. This is what I'm gonna do. I likes what I likes. So I went and I had gotten the breakfast. And as I was on my way, I saw a man holding a sign. It was a homeless man. And I had these two egg and cheese biscuits. Yes, I wanted them both. But what I wanted more is to be able to be of service and offer something to someone that they could use, offer some nourishment. So I gave them one of my sandwiches. Now, that is an act of being beautiful. When you see somebody that you can actually help and it won't be a detriment to you, or even if it is a detriment at that moment to you, because you wanted it so bad. I wanted both of those sandwiches so bad. But on the flip side, I knew that I'll be taken care of later. I'll get another sandwich. I may not have the money to get it, but hey, I'll get food or some type of nourishment in some other way. I actually have other food in my car. So here, you have this guy. There you go. So that is an example of being beautiful. Number three, hymio, altruism. When was the last time you cried? So, the last time I cried was, um, it maybe had to been like about 2 or 3 years ago, where I really cried. And I was in a retreat and I was in a situation where I specifically went into this environment to because I wanted to open myself up. I wanted to cry. I knew I just wanted to let it out. And so when I went to this spiritual retreat and I was able to go into deep meditation, I was able to finally let those feelings and let the tears flow. And it was such a relaxing and satisfying feeling to be able to let that out. I'm not a crier, and I wish I could cry more actually. Um, so yeah, that was the last time I cried. All right. So number 4, what are 3 words you should know in every language? I think 3 words that you should know in every language is thank you, hello, and bathroom. Hello. Where's the bathroom? Thank you. Yeah, so bam, 3 words you should know in every language. And okay, so question number 5. What scares me? To be very honest, what scares me is myself. And I say that to say I am scared of myself because I have a responsibility to be of service to the world, to be of service to others, to be of service to my environment. And that scares me because that is a big responsibility. It's a big responsibility that I chose to take that on as my mission in this lifetime. And so it scares me to be responsible for compassionately interacting with people in my daily life, in every moment, interacting. Number 6, what makes you happy? Himyo, altruism. Well, what makes me happy is inspiring people to be the happiest they could possibly be. So what makes me happy is being of service to people. That is that's what I like. That's what makes me happy. Interacting with human beings. Straightforward. And the last question, what is your purpose? I would have to say that my purpose in this lifetime, I just said it actually. My purpose is to inspire people to be the happiest they can possibly be. That is my purpose. My purpose is to be a value creator in my environment. I want to be a person that brings value to every interaction and every environment that I find myself in. So, my purpose is to be of value to you, my fellow humans. And that is why we brought you the human experience. So, we'll be back in about 1 minute to wrap up this experience. And, hang on. See you in a second. And welcome back to this exciting session of the human experience. Yay! I am your host, Altruism, and I am here to uh, facilitate compassion in action. Yes, 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 yes. That is what I am here to do. And that is what the human experience is all about. This is an opportunity for humans to express themselves so that other humans can experience that expression of love, freedom, and happiness. And sometimes it may be of despair. And that's okay too, because the human experience isn't about being all foo and and just expressing some of the what is good in the world. It's about giving a fair and balanced look at the good and the bad, and at the end of the day, using both the good and the bad to progress within life. Because when you're able to look at a bad experience as an opportunity to become better, then that bad experience became valuable because you were able to extract from that bad or traumatic experience lessons, tools, and new ways to be able to operate so that that experience doesn't happen to you once again. You know, so that's why I don't look at life as a I don't have I don't have problems. I only have opportunities to hone myself. There's an affirmation that I use that goes a little something like this: I am made up of an abundant universe of all there is, and I will attract into my life everything that I deserve based upon the causes I make for the advancement of all beings. And I will utilize everything as an opportunity for growth. So, with that being said, let me just give you more of a little bit of a rundown as to what the human experience is going to grow into and what kind of guests that we'll be having on this show. Now, I mentioned that yes, it is going to be regular, everyday people, which means everybody. And that could be anyone from a celebrity to the guy that I met down the street. But what is going to be the common denominator is that me and that individual have shared some type of experience, and so that way we'll have a background at least to a reasoning for having this particular conversation. And as the show grows, this is a multifaceted experience. So you're going to take the ride and take the journey of the human experience and see where it has come from today and to where we're going tomorrow. Now, as we grow within this human experience, what one is going to witness is that um, there is going to be a social impact event that is going to be a culminating factor in why you want to turn in and tune in to the human experience, right? So there is going to be some fixed cause that we're going to be building momentum up towards so that way we can go live and be at this event and experience compassion in action in a very real and dynamic way. And the guests that we're going to be having on the show are going to be individuals who we are collaborating with to put on said event. Let me give you an example. The first human experience was done in June of 2015. It was done at Skid Row, in Skid Row, I should say. And at that human experience, we were able to give haircuts. We had people that lived outside of the Skid Row community come to the Skid Row community. and bring donations of food and clothing. We had Cali Tacos who compassionately served bomb tacos to the inhabitants of Skid Row. We had Sunwo Love come in and do a performance. We had the Skid Row players come in and do a drum performance, and then we had executive chef Ray Cash. His task were the individuals who came from outside of Skid Row and brought donations of food. His task was to come up with a healthy menu on the spot to be served to the community. And he did a phenomenal job. Thank you, Mr. Ray Cash. And so we also had art there. There was a functional shopping cart. It was an art cart that was turned into a it was like a homeless Cadillac. And we auctioned that off and raffled that off, and some individual within that community, within the Skid Row community, was able to have this push cart Cadillac for at their disposal. And really, what the human experience was an opportunity for people to come into an environment and experience the aliveness and the vibrancy and the love and the real sense of community, which you don't normally hear about when you hear about Skid Row. You hear about the drugs, yes. You hear about the immense amount of homelessness, yes. You hear about the prostitution, yes. You hear about all of the scum, the scorch, and the gook of life when you hear about Skid Row. But you don't hear about that Skid Row is one of the largest recovery communities in the world. You don't hear about that. You don't hear about basketball tournaments, and you don't hear about how people truly have each other's back in that community. There is more community within Skid Row than there is in Beverly Hills. So that was the first human experience. And this particular round of human experiences are all going to be dealing with homelessness in some way, shape, or form. And I have a particular experience with homelessness because I've been living in LA for the last 6 years. And I would say 4 out of those 6 years, I have experienced some form of homelessness. At this current moment, I don't have a home. But that doesn't stop me from bringing you the human experience. That doesn't stop me from showing up and still making my contribution in this world, because I am experiencing a lack of financial stability in order to provide myself a basic necessity. I'm not saying that I'm living in absolute squalor. No, because have a I have been fortunate enough to have an abundance of individuals within my life who believe and support in the vision and what I have to offer the world, and so they provide me with help, and that's really what this is about. This is about creating a paradigm shift in a world where we go from independence to interdependent. As they say, one hand washes the other and both hands wash the face. So that's really what that's really what this is about, and that's what we are going to be growing the human experience into. actually social impact events. That is our mission, that is our goal, and that is the experience that you're going to see transpire right in front of you every Monday. Every Monday. This is an exercise for me just as much as it is for you. Because what is a formula for success? There's having a strategy, there's having discipline, and there's doing it consistently. When you enact your strategy in a disciplined manner consistently, the likelihood of success is unavoidable. Yes, that is true. And that is the formula of success. That is the formula for success that we like to give to you at Faith is Simply Be Life, the path towards be living in you. So if you're looking for a dynamic and engaging inspirational dialogue at your location and to come to speak to your people, holla at your boy. Because Faith is Simply Be Life is the path towards be living in you. And you will be helping me to live my life's purpose. And for that, I am forever grateful. So thank you all for coming out and joining us for the first human experience. This is Compassion in Action, and I am your host, Altruism. So we'll see you next Monday for the next human experience. Thank you all for whoever did tune in to this lovely beta test. It may never actually even see the light of day, but hey, I had to do it. I just wanted to jump. I wanted to jump straight in. I didn't want to wait for there to be to have everything perfect and have this in order and that in order when I could just start right now and just get it on its legs and have it be something that you see evolve, grow, and you see me grow with it, and we all grow together. That is one thing I will leave you with is this. You don't have to be perfect because perfect isn't real. But you do have to be dynamic because everyone has the power within them to be something. And it's on you to decide what that something is going to be for you. For me, it's the human experience and allowing you all to know that you are valuable, you are lovable, and you are absolutely dynamic. So thank you for coming and joining us for the human experience, and we look forward to seeing you again.